The first season of Yellowstone spin-off 1883 aired its finale in February of 2022, and fans were shocked at several deaths that occurred during the episode. One person not shocked was supporting star Sam Elliott, who had been warned by series creator Taylor Sheridan that he might not like how his character's arc came to an end. Join Facts First as Sam Elliott shares his harsh words after the 1883 season finale. According to Sam Elliott, 1883 creator Taylor Sheridan had some strange words for him when trying to convince him to star in the Yellowstone spin-off series. Sam claims Taylor warned him before he signed on that the actor might not like all the places the show went over the course of the first season, but Sam signed on anyway. Now that the first season is over, it's not hard to see why Taylor Sheridan presented Sam Elliott with words of caution. Not only did Sam have a lot of heavy material that he had to perform, but his character also went out with a bang during the season finale. As fans of the show already know, Sam's character ended up killing himself at the end. Sam played Shay Brennan over the course of 1883's first season. The series revolves around the Dutton family, which is the central family from the series Yellowstone. 1883 showcases a previous generation of the family, headed by a patriarch and matriarch, played by Tim McGraw and Faith Hill, respectively. These characters are James and Margaret Dutton, and the show depicts the Dutton family trying to make it to Oregon with Shay Brennan's help. James and Margaret had a daughter named Elsa, but like Sam Elliott's Shay, she didn't make it out of 1883's first season alive. 1883 was meant to be gritty and realistic. Taylor Sheridan wanted 1883 to be a challenging look at the dangers settlers faced back in the day, and that meant no character deaths were off the table. It seems one of the reasons Sam Elliott signed on to the series was because he empathized with the creator's goal of bringing a more realistic depiction of settler times to the screen. It's arguable that being told how trying the filming would be only made Sam Elliott more eager. Besides the fact that his character was going to commit suicide by the end of the first season, another thing that Sheridan warned Elliott about was how harsh filming would be. To make the series as realistic as possible, the first season was filmed on location across the Oregon Trail. This meant the cast and crew were essentially taking the Oregon Trail for themselves, though they did have a lot more resources and support than the Duttons did. While Taylor Sheridan was afraid Sam Elliott would hate him by the time filming ended, Sam actually grew to have a great deal of respect for the series' creator. Taylor wrote all the episodes and directed the first couple. Sam knew that Taylor took his craft seriously and developed a lot of respect for the man through production. The finale of 1883 rocked audiences. The finale premiered towards the end of February 2022. Sam's character wasn't the only notable one killed off over the course of the episode. In the second-to-last episode, a Native American arrow had shot Dutton daughter Elsa. The episode ended with a glimmer of hope that Elsa might end up okay by the season's end. But this wasn't the case. Taylor Sheridan knew what he was doing while providing false hope for the audience that Elsa would make it through the end of the season. Again, it was the creator's goal to showcase just how hard it was to be a settler back in the 1800s. This video is brought to you by Established Titles. Have you ever been interested in being a lord or a lady? With Established Titles, now you can become one. For real. You could officially change your name to Lord or Lady and get it on your credit card, plane tickets, etc. You can even get it on your dating profiles. You can purchase title packs that give you at least 1 square foot of dedicated land on a private estate in Eddleston, Scotland. With the purchase, you'll receive an official certificate with a crest. Your certificate features a unique plot number with which you can see the exact location of your land. Established Titles told me that the first 200 people purchasing a title pack using my link will effectively be next to my plot within a few minutes of walking. Depending on how many of you want to become a lord or a lady, we can build our little Facts First kingdom. They plant a tree with every order and work with global charities, One Tree Planted and Trees for the Future, to support global reforestation efforts. It makes an amazing last-minute gift. Established Titles is actually running an early Black Friday sale, plus if you use the code FV10, you get an additional 10% off. Go to establishedtitles.com/FV10 to get your gifts now and help support the channel. Elsa Dutton's death was tragic but realistic. The death of Elsa at the end of the first season was made more shocking by the fact that the character was the show's narrator. Even as Elsa was succumbing to the arrow that eventually killed her, few in the audience believed that Taylor Sheridan had the gumption to kill the show's narrator. Though Tim McGraw and Faith Hills were headlining stars, it's arguable that the main character was Elsa herself. After being shot by an arrow during the second-to-last episode, Elsa seemed like she'd be okay. Her parents pulled the arrow out and sealed the wound. But when Tim McGraw's character, James Dutton, went to examine the arrow, he realized there was something off about it. Sheridan put a lot of research into creating his account of settler times, and one of the tidbits he picked up along the way was the fact that some Native American tribes dipped their arrows in filth to infect people. When James Dutton picked up the arrow that had punctured his daughter and realized it was covered in filth, he came to a disturbing epiphany. The filth that was on the arrow was now inside his daughter's body. Even though the wound was sealed without much issue, there was no way for the Duttons to do anything about that filth that was already causing a serious infection. James told his wife that Elsa was going to die from the filth-covered arrow. The finale teased that Elsa might not die. Though James Dutton clearly spelled out to his wife that their daughter was going to pass away from infection, audiences likely refused to believe that 1883 was going to do away with its narrator. There were certainly attempts to save her, as much of that final episode was spent following the Duttons as they sought out the powers of a Native American healer. There are plenty of shows from the past that would have used the introduction of this healer to make everything okay for the Dutton family, but 1883 had other intentions. The death of Elsa Dutton was seen as necessary to convey grit and reality, and giving her character an easy out by having a healer bring her back would have gone against the values of the series. Though the Native American healer tries his best to use his methods to cure her ailment, she passes away regardless. Numerous other characters also passed away. Elsa passed away in her father's arms, and James vowed he'd make the location of her death the new Dutton family settlement instead of continuing to head onward towards Oregon. Of course, that location was Yellowstone's setting of Montana. The death of Shay Brennan wasn't nearly as shocking as the death of Elsa Dutton, as most already suspected that it was Shay's plan to commit suicide as soon as he got to the West Coast. Sam's favorite moment from 1883 was with Elsa. According to Sam Elliott, one of his favorite moments from the first season was when his character shared his backstory with doomed narrator Elsa Dutton. Shay had tragic reasons for wanting to accompany the Dutton family to the West Coast. His wife had passed away, and all she ever wanted was to see the ocean. After her passing, Shay vowed he would head out to the ocean and show it to his deceased wife via his own eyes. Once he got there, he shot himself. It's not every day that a popular show kills off two of its main characters during its first season. According to Taylor Sheridan, 1883 was only meant to last for a single season, but it's recently been renewed for a second. Another Yellowstone spin-off has also been announced, called 1923. Like 1883, 1923 will follow the Dutton settlers over the course of its titular year. Taylor claims 1923 was originally going to be the second season of 1883, but the news that 1883 will get its own second seasons means the creator is now planning on fleshing out the past of the Duttons more than before. Now it's time to hear from you. Are you a fan of 1883? Were you shocked by the season finale deaths? Let us know in the comments section below.